hidden dragon world.
Hey Superiors. Supreme Leader Mishka welcomes you to this new educational program. All hail Mishka. Oh, your heart is beating very fast, Mishy. Isn't it cute? I'm actually away in this place at the moment, but I made sure to make an extra video so that you wouldn't feel so lonely without me at this time in your life. We see the hidden world pretty clearly throughout the trailer. It looks like it's going to play a pretty important role in the film, but what makes it look the way that it does? And what makes it the perfect safe haven for dragons? Dean Du Bois, the writer and director for the How to Train Your Dragon series, was actually asked this question in his recent Reddit AMA, so we do have an answer as to what this place is, what the hidden world is. It's a massive volcanic caldera that serves as a gateway to an endless maze of chambers and tunnels that work their way around the world. Simple enough, right? But what is a volcanic caldera? That's a fantastic question, you backstabbing plant fiend. A volcanic caldera forms because beneath the earth there are pockets of lava all over the place. Chances are that you might be on top of one. Does that make you nervous? I'm just saying, because my country was literally formed from volcanoes rising out of the ocean, though they're dormant, so I'm not in too much danger. Now, if some of the lava escapes from that chamber and erupts, the earth on top of it can collapse into that empty space inside the chamber that has formed, creating a crater or a caldera, which is precisely what we are seeing here as the gateway to the hidden world. It's likely that this was once a massive mountain or island above the ocean, but then it exploded, and the volcano collapsed atop itself and created this entrance that we see in the trailer. And this isn't surprising given the area that it's based in. Now, if the final film follows the books, and Dean Du Bois has indicated that it will be more loyal to the ending of the series, this caldera will probably be where the dragons go to hide at the end of the film, a place that is only ever referred to in the books as the Northern Oceans. And realistically, the Northern Oceans is likely referring to the area with Greenland, Iceland, the Pole, and dozens of other small islands, which, funnily enough, are made up of tons and tons of volcanoes. Iceland was actually formed from 14 different volcanoes, and this caldera that we see in the trailer is likely to be north of Berk and heading towards the pole. And this would be the perfect place for dragons to hide, because humans wouldn't be able to find it, or at least they wouldn't be able to get inside it without the ability to fly, something that they wouldn't have for hundreds of more years. Now, there are a lot of indications to suggest that Berk is somewhere around here. In fact, we actually have a map that was officially released that transplanted the islands in the archipelago onto a real-world map. It's not clear how perfectly accurate this is meant to be, given what the books say and just what has been indicated throughout the series, but this would make the entrance to the hidden world somewhere around here. The second part of the description is an endless maze of chambers and tunnels that work their way around the world. Now, while I'm somewhat skeptical as to whether or not these tunnels go all the way around the world, it is very believable that the hidden world will be massive. And I mean huge. It's gonna be huge, just the most tremendous hidden world. Is huge or massive bigger? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Given that this entrance is a volcanic caldera, these chambers that we see Astrid and Hiccup fly through are likely to be an empty magma chamber, which is essentially a place that lava was and then it wasn't. Big surprise, right? Pretty much the lava either went further into the earth or it exploded at various points, usually creating islands, which, as I mentioned before, the archipelago is full of them. Pretty much all of them would have likely been made of islands. Who's to say that they weren't actually created from the magma that we see would have been in the hidden world when it was full. So the magma chamber for Yellowstone National Park, which is one of the largest volcanoes in the entire world and could literally wipe out all life on Earth. It'll happen eventually. Look forward to the day, save the date. It stretches from 5 kilometers to 17 kilometers beneath the surface and is about 90 kilometers long and 40 kilometers wide. And that's just a description of one of its magma chambers, and it's not even its largest. So it's not a surprise that this hidden world could be dozens of kilometers long and deep, a kind of Noah's Ark for dragons, per se. So now that we know what it broadly is, let's take a closer look at what's inside our hidden haven for our Herculean kind. The first thing we notice are these pillars covered in what I thought were glowing crystals, but they're actually glowing plant life. The promotional poster definitely has crystals in the background, but it's unlikely that these can create light or glow on their own. There are very few examples of crystals being able to create their own light in the fashion that we're seeing here. Quartz can hold an electrical charge, but it's more likely that what we're seeing here are the crystals refracting and reflecting the light of the bioluminescent life in the cave. So, bioluminescent life. The promotional poster clearly features a number of anemone-looking things, mushrooms and other fungi. Bioluminescence is caused by an organic chemical reaction that doesn't require sunlight, meaning it can happen in complete darkness, like we assume the hidden world would be in. Though, it is notable that there are some sort of shafts of light in the background of the promotional poster, but it's my theory that this might just be the light that's coming through from the volcanic caldera, as it looks like the dragons are coming into it, representative of the dragons coming to hide there at the end of the film. But bioluminescence, the University of California summarized it in saying that they create a chemical called luciferin. When luciferin is exposed to oxygen, a chemical reaction, aided along by an enzyme called luciferase, emits light. So that's what we're seeing here. Thousands of creatures and plants creating this luciferin chemical reaction and giving the hidden world this rainbow ambiance. Some dragons we already know, like the fireworms that we can see in the trailer, already emit light too, just a different color. And another interesting thing, we can also tell that the plants growing here probably don't have chlorophyll, the chemical that makes plants green in the world around us, because the plants in the hidden world presumably don't get any sunlight. They don't have any need for chlorophyll, which is a critical chemical component to photosynthesis. How they turn the sunlight into energy. And I also want to point out how remarkably like a sea anemone this plant looks, even though in the trailer there isn't a clear pool of water at the bottom of the hidden world, though I wouldn't be surprised if there was. Especially since we see tons of water flowing into the hidden world at the caldera, meaning it has to go somewhere. It's possible that that is where the sea anemones grow. Though why doesn't the hidden world fill up? I'm genuinely curious about that. There's also one detail that we don't see much of in the trailer, but we see very clearly in the poster: the scattered starlight effects across the ceiling of the hidden world. This is unlikely to be the plants that we see across the floor and scaling the pillars. Rather, it's my theory that these are the bioluminescent creatures known as glowworms, which, to my shock, a lot of people have never heard of. They've never seen them. I didn't realize that they were somewhat native to my country. Like, they do exist in other countries, but they're more prominent here than they are anywhere else, really. They're kind of like fireflies, except they're worms, and they grow in colonies in caves all across New Zealand, and they have this exact light effect. Otherwise, it could just be some growing lichen and moss. And there is one final thing that we need to speak of in the hidden world: the pillars. So, knowing that this is a volcanic chamber, and knowing that we have water flowing in and out of it, these are not just stone pillars. They are stalactites and stalagmites, the former hanging from the roof, and the latter growing up from the ground. You can see them here and all over the place. They're formed by sediment dripping from the roof and creating mounds on the floor, and then slowly hardening into these giant pointy things, that then build up over time into stalagmites. Likewise, as the sediment drips from the roof, the stalactite forms from the roof of the cave. And we can actually tell how old these caverns must be, how long the magma must have evacuated from the chamber by the size of these stalagmites and stalactites, which actually over time connect to create a pillar, which is likely what we're seeing here. The younger ones are just the pointy ones going up from the ground, but the oldest ones would have been the ones that formed into pillars because they joined in the middle. These must have been built up over millions of years, because we have found stalagmites and stalactites that are millions of years old, and they're not even close to the size of what we're seeing in the hidden world, meaning this place is ancient. But that's the hidden world. If you like what I do, then feel free to come and join our Discord over on Patreon, where we talk about how to train your dragon and stuff. It's a lot of fun, early videos, that sort of thing. Help me pick topics. I don't know, chat with me, it's a lot of fun. Why am I doing this? Anyways, question of the day: what is your favorite ability that a real animal has? Like, for example, I really like how flying squirrels can glide. I suppose they should be called gliding squirrels. Also, sub-fury out of the day, designed by Squawkle. They sent this in, and it really amused me and my girlfriend Laura. Had a bit of a laugh, and I just wanted to share it with you. Is this accurate? Is this what Mishka looks like when I try to show him affection? Stay new, sub-furies, and I'll see you in the future.